Hey everybody! So I really wanted to do a video just solely about my eyeshadow palettes because if you can't tell by now, it's my favorite thing in makeup to talk about. So I was looking at the current palette tag that's going around and I realized I probably don't have enough eyeshadow palettes to do that video because I was having a lot of duplicates. So I decided to just do like a ranking my palettes video, and I only have 16, which probably sounds hilarious to some people because if you're one of those people who is not obsessed with makeup, this probably feels and sounds like way too many, but if you are a YouTuber or just somebody who really loves makeup and likes to collect it, it probably sounds like nothing. But I've been looking at my eyeshadow palettes and realizing that, you know, there's a handful of them that I've had for way too long, like 4 or 5 years, and they're just not performing like they used to. And so I kind of wanted to film this video just to kind of like have documentation of those before I put them to rest, because I'm a very nostalgic person, and so I just want a way to refer back to them. So yeah, and the way that I ranked these is not the way in which they're performing today. I'm ranking it in terms of like when I first got it, how was it working on my eyes? Alright, so number 16 in my current collection is the NYX Ultimate Edit palette. This thing really sucks, and I feel like I was seeing on YouTube that a lot of people really were loving the NYX bigger palette, so I decided to just get this. Oh my gosh, it is not good. I'm getting rid of it right after this video. Yeah, that's about it. Number 15 in my collection is the e.l.f. Acai You palette. So I bought this for a full face of e.l.f. makeup video, and I did end up filming it, but I lost it on my phone, like it was deleted, and I just decided not to make it again because it was kind of like a whatever video anyway. But everyone has been hyping these bite-sized eyeshadows up so much, and so I was like, okay, I'll go get it. All of these colors just fade away when you try to use them. These two colors on the eye, after like an hour, they just look like the same shade. This guy turns up different on my eye like every time I use it. It's not good. Number 14 is the Shade and Light palette in Plum from Kat Von D, back when it was still called Kat Von D. And it is just this cute little palette. It has like the coffin packaging and everything. Don't get me wrong, the quality of this is really good. I don't think you can buy this anymore. So sorry, but I just want to talk about makeup. So the quality of this is actually really good. I really like the packaging. I think it's pretty cute. The only reason that it is so low is that I'm really not a purple eyeshadow kind of girl. And whenever I do like feel like doing a deep purple eye, obviously this is the thing that I go to because the quality is really good, but it's just not my color story. Number 13 in my collection is my Wet n Wild glitter palette. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I do kind of like this. You know, it's like not the best, but this thing was like less than $3. And I just feel like it's really cute, and whenever I don't really like feel like doing makeup but I want something cute, I can just kind of put my finger there, swipe it onto my eye, and it's good to go, and it's just like a fun shade. I really wish that I didn't throw out the older one that I had, but yeah, I do like this, but obviously it's not a great quality palette. Number 12 might be a little surprising to some people because it is a Juvia's Place palette, and you've probably been seeing this on my channel a lot lately. It is the Warrior. Juvia's Place formula is really great, and I do love it a lot. So it's not down here because of the formula at all. Like, it's a really great formula, but frankly the colors in here I just don't love. First of all, I don't really like neutral palettes anyway, especially neutral palettes that are mostly shimmers. I just feel like these shades are way too golden, like yellow bronze for me. They just look really weird on my face. I have warm toned skin, and I've heard that if you have warm toned skin, you should lean more towards cool tone makeup, but I don't know if I agree with that. Number 12 is actually my newest palette, which is the Morphe Icy Fantasy palette, and there's actually kind of a story behind this. So for my and my boyfriend's anniversary, he ordered online the Pastel Pup from Menagerie Cosmetics for me, And I was so excited to get that, but it just like wasn't coming in, and I knew they were having like shipping issues because of COVID, but it wasn't coming in for so long, and so he finally emailed them, and they said that it had been shipped, so it was stolen, essentially. So I was like really heartbroken about that. So recently he like made dinner for us, did a cute little date, and then he gave me this, which he had bought that day, which I was so grateful for, and it was so sweet because it's, you know, pastel, just like Pastel Pup, but it's not the best. I do really like the colors in here. Unfortunately, the mattes in here are almost unusable. The shimmers are actually pretty cute. There's some really cute like eye toppers in here. On my lids, I'm wearing one of the lighter shades with a topper on top, and I feel like that was really cute. So I think it's just a matter of me figuring out like what shades work with me and what shades don't. I was so excited about the Pastel Pup because it was all mattes. So it kind of, you know, sucks that the mattes in here are like where the failure is. I think this is really cute. I really like the packaging. I think I need to spend more time with it and learn how to work with it. But yeah, the mattes are just frankly awful. Number 10 in my collection is the Subculture by Anastasia Hills, and looking at this, I'm surprised that it's so low, just because I really like this. I really wanted it for a really long time, but I just was so hesitant to spend the money on something that was so controversial. So what I did is I just bought it secondhand off of, I think, Vinted, and I'm really happy I did. I love this color story. I think it's so cool and so unique. I do see what some people are talking about in terms of like certain shades being a little patchy, certain things kind of just like blending together to look the same. It's the only Anastasia palette that I have or that I've ever had. But yeah, I really like this one. My 9th favorite palette in my collection is the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. And I don't know, I've talked about this before, obviously, because it's in one of my palette roulettes. When I first got this, I wasn't that excited, just because these aren't really shades that I would think that I would use. Egypt, oh my god, it is so pretty. I told myself I wasn't gonna do any swatches. It is gorgeous. And I have hazel eyes, so, but the green is not that noticeable, but I feel like when I wear this, the green in my eyes really pops. Wait. Huh? 15? I guess I only have 15 palettes? Oh! Because I'm not including this in the video, because why would I? We're just gonna continue like that never happened. So this is actually number 7 in my collection, and I realize now this is a little hypocritical because this is a build your own palette from Buxom, and that's technically a build my own palette, but like, I never use that thing. So these are shades that I handpicked on my own. I really like this palette, obviously. I've got 2 kind of like duochrome, look at me swatching again, 2 duochrome shades. I love how big this mirror is. I'm one of those people who really likes having mirrors in palettes. It's really sturdy. Obviously you can just like pop things out and pop them back in. I feel like no one has really talked about Buxom eyeshadows in a while, which I understand. First of all, Buxom is not cruelty-free, and I think pretty much everything else that I own is cruelty-free. I bought this at a time where I was not solely buying cruelty-free makeup, but pretty much everything else that I have and everything that I buy now is. But it's really cool and I like it a lot, and the quality of these shadows are really great. Buxom eyeshadows are really great. So if you're not worried about, you know, if you don't shop vegan, I would highly recommend the Buxom singles. So number 6 is Venus 1 by Lime Crime. The mirror fell out in the past couple of months. I was so excited when I got this. I got Venus 1 and Venus 2 at the same time for a birthday. So obviously now these don't really perform as well as they used to. These are some of my oldest palettes. I legitimately can't remember if I got them for my 16th or 18th birthday. It was one of the two. I'm 21 now, so either way, I probably shouldn't still have these. I think the packaging is just beautiful. Like, come on, are you kidding me? I just love looking at it. I think back when I still lived with my parents, I like had these on display on my desk. So yeah, I just really like this guy. I am actually surprised at how high up on the list this palette is. And number 5 is actually the OG Naked palette from Urban Decay. And I don't know if there's some sentimentality that, oh, I feel like someone's looking at me right now through my window. Is she? I think I know that guy. I don't know if there's some sentimentality attached to how highly I'm ranking this. There probably is, but this was the first like high-end eyeshadow palette that I ever bought for myself. I had kind of purchased it as like a little gift to myself, a little reward after one of my years in high school. I think it was either sophomore or junior year, because I got straight A's. I think that entire, no way, that entire year. I don't know. I got really good grades. And I had been wanting a really nice eyeshadow palette for a long time, and this was not on my radar. I was not thinking of buying this, but I realized I didn't really have any good neutral eyeshadow palettes. But when I first got it, I did like it a lot. I kind of fell out of love with it, and recently I'm liking it a lot again. So I'm really glad I still have this. Frankly, it's still performing like decently considering how long ago I bought this. But even if one day I do like declutter this, I feel like I might save it anyway, just because of how special it is to me. So yeah. Number 4 also surprised me how high up on the list it is, and it is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, with this huge mirror, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like it kind of smells like candy or vanilla or like Smarties or something, but it's just, other than this shade, it's like an all metallic palette, and I feel like all of the colors are really pretty, and I kind of forget about this. Like, I forget about how good it is. Fairy, princess, mermaid, witch, not witch, the good witch from Wizard of Oz. I really like this, and I'm surprised how high up it is. Number 3 is the Venus 2. I was so excited when I got this. I was obviously excited for the Venus 1, but this one, oh my gosh, it was like the first kind of like more creative, artistic, colorful kind of eyeshadow palettes that I've ever had. I was in love with this shade. This is one of those like duochrome green, purplish brown shades that are kind of really popular now, but this was like, excuse me if I'm wrong, but this was like one of the first palettes to do that shade. I think the palettes are too expensive for the quality that you're getting. I don't know if Lime Crime has changed their formula at all or anything, but even when I first started using them, I was just expecting a lot more, but they were still pretty good. Obviously right now this is like trash because of how old it is. Number 2 is somehow simultaneously shocking, but not shocking to me at all, which sounds funny, but let me explain. Number 2 is my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. I have used the hell out of this. Like, it doesn't really look like it other than the shades that I have pan in, but like, I used to, and still do, really like this palette. It's not the greatest quality in the world, but I mean, it really is the only true rainbow palette that I own. There's just so many different shades in here, so many unique shades, a lot of different finishes too, and there's a lot of mattes in here, which I like. You do need to build everything up. Some of them are a little difficult to blend, but most of them aren't. I don't know, I'm like somehow simultaneously talking shit, but also talking about how much I love it, and frankly, like, that's just me living my truth. That's just my honest thoughts and opinions. This is probably another one where once I get to the point where it's completely unusable and I do technically declutter it, I feel like I'm still gonna keep it around just because it's very special to me. So my number one palette, there was a time where without question, without even any hesitation, this was my favorite palette. I feel like I'm not really in that place anymore just because the colors in it are not exactly what I go for now, but the quality is still probably the best out of any of my other palettes. And if you've heard the hype and if you've thought about buying it, I'd say buy it. It's the Masquerade by Juvia's Place. This was the first Juvia's Place palette that I've ever owned, and I bought this kind of like before the Juvia's Place hype started, so I remember being so excited. I had seen some things on YouTube about it, people saying how good it was, and this was the first palette I ever had where when I tried the quality, I was just like, yes, this is what eyeshadow should be. Why would anyone settle for anything less when there's this brand that has such high quality eyeshadow for a really reasonable price? This is a very well-loved palette. I wish that I had the mini version instead because these pans are so big, but I bought this way before Juvia's Place introduced their mini palettes. I feel like the packaging is beautiful. I love looking at it. It just makes me really happy. The quality is so buttery and the shimmers are incredible. So yeah, those are all my eyeshadow palettes. There are some of these that, you know, are past their prime, and some of them that I just hate and need to get rid of. And so I'm glad that I made this video because I feel like now I'm sort of more ready to let go of some of these. But part of me doesn't want to let go of them until I buy something that's sort of a replacement that's like kind of a similar vibe to it. But I feel like I watch so many YouTube videos about eyeshadow palettes that I almost feel like I own them, if that makes any sense. Like, if I see an eyeshadow palette so many times in so many videos, I'm like, oh yeah, that eyeshadow palette. Like, I have that, but I don't. But it's like, I think I have the shades that could replace it, but I don't. I don't know. Okay, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna finish eating my mac and cheese and probably clean my room a little bit and edit this video. Thank you for watching. I really hope you have a really good rest of your day. I really hope that you are embracing the good in this world, recognizing things that you have to be grateful for, recognizing your privilege, your own personal privilege, and kind of trying to challenge yourself on that, which is something that I think we should all really be doing at all times, and I don't think happens nearly enough. Appreciate the people around you. Pray if you pray. Meditate if you meditate. If you do neither of those things, you should still meditate because it's so good for you. Thank your body for all the work it does for you. I'm gonna stop talking now.